We got sound now?
We should have sound.
All right, cool. So,
Gas in the booth.
Wait, let's make sure that's here.
we just wanted to.
Hold on.
We'll have to keep talking
Oh yeah.
for it to. There it is. We got sound now?
All right, we got
There
sound.
it
Let's
is.
try that again.
Unfortunately, we just gave out all of the winning numbers to the Indiana Lottery.
We gave $50,000 away, and you missed it.
and if you did not hear it, you missed it.
You missed it.
So that's on you, not us. Hi, George. Thank you for letting us know that you could not hear sound. We hope you are doing well. We haven't seen you in a while. Hope you and the family are doing all right.
Let's try the introduction once again.
Hi, my name is Will Akins.
And I am Jacob Reinhardt.
And we are with Ross Music Theater. I'm sorry?
And I'm the idiot.
Oh, and then we have our technical
Assistant.
our technical assistant.
Pete is here today.
George says he hears sound now. Let's give it up for Ravi in the booth. Go, Ravi!
Awesome.
We have him doing his internship here. Basically, we are having him work for us for nothing. Well, no, we decided to come to you guys and talk to you guys about the how we navigated through, hopefully, what we believe is the worst part of the pandemic, and what we look forward to. You know, this was uncharted times for everyone.
Who are we? What is this?
Who
they
are
don't
we?
know now.
They don't know?
They couldn't hear us.
Oh yeah, because I said that, and then I said the $50,000 thing.
Yeah.
We are
The clever name that neither of us thought of.
Ross on Theater, and we are going to be, basically going over all of the things going on in Northwest Indiana that have been and that will be. And
Navigating through a pandemic.
yeah,
And how theater, the area, has kind of held up or
yeah.
tried to hold up.
But some places paused. Some places kept going. Some places, are unfortunately having to close doors indefinitely. And, so we wanted to come to you all and try to open up a dialogue. So we do have the chat box going right now. If you want to stop by and say hi or let us know of any technical errors, thank you, George, or anything.
And keep the chat box active, because later we're going to talk about summer show and we'd like some input from you guys. So make sure
Yeah.
you at least get through this beginning part, this obligatory beginning part, and then you get your reward where you get to actually put in input what we decide to do as a summer show, because we will be doing a summer show. Well, that is for certain. We will be doing a summer show.
And how many times do people come to your family and they're like, I wish you guys could do this and I wish you guys could do that?
And they tell us after we already picked a show. It's like, well, you should have told us earlier. Now's your chance to tell us earlier. So,
Absolutely.
if you're watching this and you know someone who wants to give input on what the summer show is, tell them to start tuning in now, because we're going to talk about that.
Do that.
Huh?
But that doesn't mean
Doesn't mean we're going to do that. But if you want to give input, come watch now, because we can't do every musical that people suggest.
Yeah. I mean, and there's multiple reasons. There are always multiple reasons. You have to, normally, let's just talk normally. So let's go a little bit back in time. Let's talk how this process would go pre-pandemic. And this process is pretty much the same for most around. You have to think of, what you can actually accommodate cast-wise. If you have a musical that's made for 50 people or 30 people and you are in a smaller black box, it may not work as well. It's cool to have that big full chorus, but if you don't have anywhere for these people to stand and you're skipping over people in the audience, stepping over them to get to your part, to get to your spot, I mean, you have that. You have, do you have the correct voices? Might you have the correct voices? You don't ever
Can
want
you get the rights for it? That's what it comes down to. Can you get the rights for it, and would it be cost expensive? Like Mary Poppins, for example, is a very popular one. We get recommended a lot of the time, and while we're always welcome to recommendations, if we did that show, we'd really like to fly Mary Poppins, and that would be very expensive.
And not just fly her. I think your dad says if he does it, she has to fly over the audience.
Yep, and that's the big deal. And for us to ever do that, we gotta plow through. we gotta get theater in Northwest Indiana tip-top shape after this pandemic.
So,
We got some more people piling in.
I will of course say the phrase that I have said this entire time, and I'm really crossing my fingers for it, that we are moving into what I'm going to call the post-COVID renaissance, to where you've had people doing nothing but writing shows, working on their craft. I hate that term, but working on their craft. Seriously, sitting at home. You had some people who just sat at home. They didn't sing, didn't perform, and it's harder to do that kind of stuff. But you had some people that took that time to go back and say, all right, well, let me look at my fundamentals. Let me figure out how can I come back from this and be better than I was. I mean, you picked up an instrument. It's not a new instrument,
Yeah,
but you really got proficient at
Well,
it.
I played double bass, and then I picked up the electric bass, and I learned that over the rougher part of the pandemic, just out of pure curiosity.
And I would say personally, I feel that I improved as a pianist.
I'm glad you feel that way.
I didn't say I did. I just said I felt that way. I felt that, because I just played. That's all I did. The whole pandemic was just sit at my piano and play. I got tired of watching TV, so I just played a lot. Speaking of things that are playing a lot, let's talk about some things that will be playing in the area soon.
If you got your vaccinations, you got your 5G chips installed. We got some auditions coming up that we kind of want to talk about. Not from our theater in particular, but theaters around the area.
Yeah. I have not been upgraded to 5G yet. I'm getting upgraded next Monday.
I got upgraded Friday.
How'd that go for you?
Kicking out of it.
All right. So Gary Shakespeare Company is going to be presenting A Midsummer's Night Dream. And they just finished their callbacks. And so that show will be premiering extremely, extremely soon. For more information, you can go to their website,
GaryShakesco.org. So just
did
look
I
up
miss the Gary part?
GaryShakesco.org.
I missed the Gary part.
These links in the
Yeah.
We'll put these links in the chat.
So this way you can go back to it. You can also, go and find our page and the chat and things, and just really go finger hunting. Type in these things that you might be hearing. I do believe Jacob is working on getting that in there right now. So that's once again www.GaryShakesco.org, and that'll get you information on the Gary Shakespeare Company. And that's really cool, because not all the time do you really get to see people doing Shakespeare. And the interesting part about most of Shakespeare's work is it can take place really anywhere.
Yeah.
So, I have seen performances of theirs they've done out at beaches or outside, and that's really, really nice to be able to sit outside and enjoy some great, great, great live theater. Other things coming to the area, Making God Laugh. That's going to be directed by Rip and Bonnie Johnson. The audition dates are February 11th, 5 to 6 p.m. That's today, and tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. Both the audition and the performance locations are at Beatniks. That's 420 Conkey Street, Hammond, 46324. And the performance dates are Friday, June 4th and 11th, Saturdays, June 5th and 12th. And all of those are at 8 p.m. And then Sundays, June 6th and 13th at 2 p.m. And all of this information, once again, can be found if you go through the Beatniks Facebook page, or going through the Ross Theater page. We will try to make sure that we're sharing our colleagues' works as they navigate. So let's talk about it. Let's back up a little bit. Not all theater closed. We actually got to get some stuff out there.
Yeah, the Maryville High School, they said, in the spring you can't do 2 musicals. So this school year is like, bam, we're doing 2.
So that was really, really interesting. Because we practiced, let's not even talk about actually doing it.
Yeah.
We rehearsed with students throughout a pandemic.
And if you want to know more, there's a documentary on this channel.
Yeah, you can go and watch the entire documentary about rehearsing and performing that musical with high schoolers. It's different when you're professional and you're told this is your job and this is what you're going to get paid to do. These were high schoolers that were some of them in their senior year, and their senior year was so non-traditional, and without giving too much of the documentary away, because I would really enjoy for you guys to go and watch it because it's such a cool documentary. The link is going to be dropped. Ravi says he's going to drop the link in the in the chat box. But if you go, we were at our final dress rehearsal, our absolute final dress rehearsal, and I'll never forget. I walk in the door and they say, "We're not going to be able to do this because school's closing and this and that." And so, they were trying to toy with, were they going to let the students do their last performance, leave it all out there, or were they going to tell them and then let them make that decision? But orchestra members are coming and gathering their things, and the kids are like, "Hey, what's going on?" And so, just watching it was like,
Christmas is canceled.
yeah,
Christmas is canceled, and you're not getting your presents. I'm taking your birthday away too.
it's like seeing Mickey Mouse take his head off.
During the course.
Not quite.
Really?
I think you're talking about the caricature from Disney World. When you
Yes.
say actual Mickey Mouse taking his head off.
Why would I be talking about the actual Mickey Mouse
I don't
taking
know.
his head
I like
off?
to be immersed in the Disney mythos. Anyway, it was incredibly sad to kind of see these kids work so hard for something for 8 weeks, and then the day of the show, the day they've been waiting for, it gets taken away from them, and then that fall they finally get to put the show on, and there's roadblock after roadblock, and we don't want to say too much about what happened because
That's our way of forcing you to watch the documentary.
yeah. And then now we're doing Smokey Joe's Cafe.
Yeah, they're doing Smokey Joe's Cafe. They open this Friday, and they have performances this Friday and Saturday, 16th and 17th, and then next Saturday and Sunday, 24th and 25th, I think. Yeah, and this isn't just we had the opportunity in October to actually put on a musical. We figured it out. We had to change some things around, and now they're getting a chance to do it again. How do you do that? How do you navigate through this to where, normal things that would happen? You don't think about 15 people or 12 people or 5 people or whatever sharing a dressing room. Now no one can share dressing rooms.
Yeah.
Or people singing towards each other the same way that he and I are talking to each other. Orchestra. How do you put your orchestra in the pit and make everyone feel safe, but also, kind of aid in there, not just making them feel safe, but helping them be safe? Because you do have some instruments where you can't wear a mask. The instruments that you can wear a mask, still, you're playing this whole show with the mask on, and it can just get in the way and try and look at the conductor down in the pit. Or how about in the audience? How do you socially distance? So, a lot of work went into making sure that all of this stuff could happen in the appropriate way and in the appropriate manner. So, Smokey Joe's Cafe is coming to Reinhardt Auditorium over at Maryville High School. They've been working really, really hard to make sure that they put on the best performance possible. And they're sounding really, really, really good. Really, really good. So Jacob and I have been there for a good, deal in and out of their rehearsal period.
We're both in the pit.
Yeah. So looking at cool new ways of doing theater, like I said, that post-COVID renaissance, it's coming. So places have been doing theater. So congratulations to the Maryville High School team and school and the students over there for being very, very focused and disciplined, because when they said they were going to do Little Shop, they told them, all right, well, you have to remember, when you go home, you really have to go home. You can't go out. You can't, go hang out at your friend's house. You want to go home and you want to stay safe and you want to be able to do this show, you have to make sure that you're able to do this for everyone.
Yep.
And so that took a lot of self-discipline, and for the most part, they were pretty good and well behaved. So congratulations to them. Let's see, who else do we got?
Oh, we got one of my favorite musicals.
Genesia's Guild, yeah, they're over there doing Into the Woods. I think. Let's see. It says auditions will be held June 5th from 7 to 10 p.m., June 6th from 7 to 10, and the 7th from 2 to 5 at their Theater Guild, 6635 Holman Avenue in Hammond. And then rehearsals will start Monday.
The last Monday of June.
Last Monday. That
Well,
says,
start Monday of June.
That says June 8th. When is
June
June
8th.
8th the last Monday in June?
It could be.
I'm just reading what I see, man.
The rehearsals will be Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you have a headshot of any kind, please bring a copy that they may keep. A 4x6 is fine. So, people are doing it. You got to do Into the Woods, though, you lucky.
Oh yeah, it also please prepare 16 to 32 bars of a song to show your ability and range. We ask that you choose something not from the show. Note, you must be 18 or older. If backstage is more your thing, we will need lots of stage hands to move set pieces and assist with sound, lighting, and effects backstage. Send us a message and we'll mark you down. 16 to 32 bars.
No, that's a normal cut.
It is, but what would you pick for that?
For Into the Woods?
Yeah, if you were auditioning for Into the Woods right now,
But
and you
what
want to
if-
show your range and
But what
ability.
if I tell them and someone takes my song? Okay.
Okay.
Does I can't do something from the show? Because I want to be Little Red. So I would... No, actually I do want to do Into the Woods. If I were going to take 16 to 32 bars, I would probably take... well, the Prince has some stuff up there. The Prince is like a baritone.
So, to my knowledge, it's like there's not a male part that goes above a high G.
No,
in that show.
they're all baritones.
So
for the
you
most
could
part.
there's a wide variety that goes up to a high G.
Maybe I'd do a bit of Earth from
That'd be a good one.
Secret Garden.
Woodsy.
Well,
Very woodsy.
Well, that because a lot of people know me for this big eccentric personality that I have. That would kind of show that I can be, soft and,
Yeah.
and sweet, and then throwing in the comedic timing of what I already know.
Yeah.
What would you choose?
No, I don't know.
So you make me
Yeah.
to answer this question.
So I know what to sing.
A bit of her. Performance dates for Into the Woods are August 7th, 8th, 14th, 15th at 8 p.m., and August 9th and 16th at 3 p.m. VIP seating is $25, and there's limited availability of that. Adults are $17, seniors and students are $15. Pre-sale discount tickets will be available from the cast members in June for $10. So make sure, if that's something that you're interested in, go over to the Genesius Guild website at www.genesiusguild.net. And then, maybe get close, or, within 6 feet, but of a cast member. Maybe you can purchase some of those pre-sale tickets. And Genesius Guild, they do some cool stuff over there.
Oh yeah.
And it's a really interesting venue. So that's, I think, what I like about
It's
it.
at First United Methodist Church
Yeah.
in Hammond. And it's always funny because when I went to see the first show I went to actually see there was Godspell, and I just thought how ironic it was that I saw it in a church.
In a church. It was it's cool.
It's something in the '70s that if you would put it on in church, like this is sacrilege, and now it's like, oh, this is an expression.
It's cool because it's a very, very, very black box style venue.
Yeah.
So you're very close to the performers on stage.
You could do a lot of things with the space.
Yeah, and so as performers, so some of you may be watching and you may not be the performer, you may not be the watcher, you're the performer or whatever, or you may not be the performer, you're the audience goer. It's cooler sometimes for us to do things in smaller spaces because we have the ability to make smaller facial gestures, and I don't have to be so big and over dramatic. I can actually hone it in. I can do smaller things with my voice. I'm sorry? Like Mrs. Benson.
Like Mrs. Benson.
If you all missed, let's stop. If you missed my Mrs. Benson, that's on you. We did our Halloween show, not this past year, which I want to talk about because we did a lot of cool things.
We'll segue.
But I want to go. So we had just finished. Let's see, this is 2018. We had just finished a Christmas concert. I take a group of carolers, caroling, Jake, and some of our other friends. We go Christmas caroling. So we did a little concert here, and we're leaving. And typically at this time, we're leaving, and we're not coming back. Maybe for George Bailey, but not coming back till the next year. And Michael Reinhardt and I were having a conversation, and it started kind of as a what if kind of thing. What if you went Christmas caroling and someone kidnapped you, and it was kind of like an ongoing joke. And he said, well, I'm going to write a script about it. And the following year, our Halloween show was called Merry Halloween. And if you missed that show, you missed me in a blonde wig. And that...
And being married to a white woman.
And being married to a white woman. That joke, it fell so hard every night.
People didn't know if they could laugh.
I was the one who said it first. And it's fun playing those kinds of characters. I played someone who was like Norman Bates-esque. So I was the wife and the husband
Norman
and
Bates
the little boy.
meets, what's his face
Tyler
from
Perry.
Split?
No, Norman Bates meets Tyler Perry.
Meets Tyler Perry meets James McAvoy from Split.
Dude, it was Tyler Perry playing Norman Bates. Because when I came out, I almost did the Medea thing, and it was just like, okay, this has been overplayed. But when I came out, I was, what? You don't think my husband would be married to a white woman? We were this close to having Ed come every night just because Ed laughed at everything.
Yeah. It was funny.
And so then the following year, so pandemic year, we did we did a show. We took all of the precautions that were there, and we're like, okay, how can we take theater? Theater is something that is the now, you know, and still do our thing. So we ended up doing something.
So naturally,
Mike Reinhardt wrote a show.
Yeah, we wrote a show, and we did it in a horror movie found footage style.
It was so cool.
It was one of the most creative theater experiences, because the way it worked was we pre-filmed some scenes that we couldn't do on stage, and we got actors and things to kind of play in these parts, and that was so much fun being able to, like, we all, like, gave our creative input and, like, did these scenes and just all had a lot of fun. It was just 4 people in the cast.
And so how we really navigated around that were the 4 people were 4 of us who are always around each other anyway. Mm-hmm. Myself, Jacob's brother Lucas, and then one of our really good friends, Cassidy Koontz. We're all hanging out around each other anyway. So when the characters were written, they were in theory written for us to play them, you know, because it was the safest way to do it at that time.
With some inspiration taken away from other people we do theater with.
Yeah.
So if people could watch, like, oh, I know who that's referencing.
Yeah. And so we're doing this, and I'll never forget the first read-through. The first read-through was a lot of us finding the character within ourselves and then bringing it out.
Yeah.
And then, you know, changing it over time.
Making jokes that did not make it to the final cut.
No. If we showed you the original script, and then if we had someone transcribe...
One of the credits on the script is extra lines, the cast. There was not a single night where we read what was in, like, just purely the script. We had Destination A, we had Destination B, and road stops in between.
Got there.
Yeah.
You know, like one thing, my character. Just because I was just going off of who I am, you know, I can sometimes, in very high tense situations, swear a little bit. But because of how the show was going, I was always constantly, you know, in fear. So swear words were coming out because that's what would naturally happen to me. So I got told, hey, calm down. And then we thought, wait, it'd be funny if you, who swears all the time, doesn't swear. So I kept putting in all of these, you know,
mock
things.
swear words, and then you know what? No, if you didn't see it,
that's on you. That's on you.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it.
You gotta explain that there's two different viewings, two different ways to see it.
Yeah, there's two different viewing point of views. We had small audience. I think we capped out at 12 people.
Yeah.
We didn't let more. Huh?
It was 15.
We didn't let more than 15 people in. They're all 6 feet apart. And we took a phone on stage and recorded as if it were found footage. So that's where the problem with staging came in.
No, not recorded. We were live
streaming.
We were live streaming. So we had those recorded scenes that he talked about, but we were actually live streaming from a cell phone and on stage. So that folks here in the house were actually getting more of a traditional theatrical experience, but you could have watched it at home and you would have seen it.
Everything the people here were seeing that night.
Yeah.
From a different perspective.
You would have saw it from on stage. So when he's holding the phone and he's holding it up at you, the phone is like right here in your face. It was really cool.
Show them a moment.
It should. Do you have a moment?
I have a
Actually, let's show them a moment. I will grant mercy on you this one time. Let's pull up just a brief moment from our Halloween show.
No, while they're getting that set up, there were people who bought tickets to see the show live. And they're like, well, I gotta see that, the live stream version. And then they bought live stream tickets.
And they said it was cool both ways. They said that, it felt like a completely different show. All right, here's a moment.
We were just downstairs and now they're back, found footage.
This is a found footage portion.
I think there's audio, they should be hearing it too.
So in that sequence, they were downstairs at the theater, and they were coming back upstairs. We did perform with masks on.
Because the play did take place during pandemic.
Yeah, this was during the pandemic. This is the height of it, actually. It's in October.
So that is actually, is that Jacob or Lucas? That's Lucas. That's Lucas. He and I are having dialogue. I just checked. They're not hearing sound. They're just hearing echoed versions of what Dick and I are saying.
Yeah, they're hearing echoes of us in each other's mics.
Oh, okay, let's try this.
Castmates killed each other, a fire that killed the audience. Have you seen any ghosts or anything?
No. More crazy people saying crazy stories. A couple of crazy people actually doing those crazy stories. You know what? If there is a ghost, it's Sarah. But she doesn't do anything evil, just small stuff that really, really gets on your nerves. And as far as a fire, it had to be before my time. I don't remember anything.
So the show did take place during the setting of the actual play. So that just kind of led to, we didn't have to really explain why we were wearing masks. I think they did.
That really helps, actually.
Oh yeah, it was just them. What's that? Are those voices I hear?
My friends, sorry, they're downstairs.
Oh, I thought I locked that door.
Get up here. I'll just you. Where'd you go?
Oh.
The owner of this place, Greg Buckman. Who? Buckman, Greg Buckman.
Did you say Greg Buckman?
Yes, for the third time, Greg Buckman.
Doesn't that name sound familiar?
Probably one of the fondest Halloween memories I've ever had, but it was so much fun.
That's when we went walking around that night too.
Yeah, we usually when you have things like this, it's like, oh, I gotta take another take. But it's like every time, it's like we didn't make other takes because we were messing up. It's like we're having fun. We're like, oh, we could do this. We can make this better.
Yeah, that's I think why most of us aren't movie actors, because we don't do the whole repeating verbatim the best.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Shit.
so we did here continue to do things. So we did early on in October. We did we did Little Shop. Then we did the Halloween show. Actually, our last performance was on Halloween.
Yeah.
And you guys had a party without me because I had to go to work. Because that sucks.
Whose fault is that?
You know what? Mine!
Yeah. But that was tons of fun. And is that still available to watch?
I don't know that I have it up there, but I can put it up there.
If anyone's interested, we ended up just putting a recording of one of the live stream performances live. If anyone is interested, just contact, and then we can put that up again.
Drop a link or drop something down in the comment box. Just because we really want,
This is something that's clever even without the pandemic happening.
This could be something that you could come back to and watch again.
We took all the tropes of these found footage horror movies and kind of put them on their head and exaggerated. It was kind of a fine line of we tried to take things a little more serious at the end and then break the tension with a joke while most of these shows end. But, we put a lot of the found footage horror films like the car mysteriously dying or the phone's not working and the
The pizza
I
truck.
can't believe we missed 5G vaccination jokes.
Because that was like nowhere near a realm of a thing at that time.
Ah, man.
If we would have been ahead of our time.
We would have been.
Oh yeah, well, you know, the 5G thing was a big
What
thing.
was
then.
a big thing? It was all
Just
summer.
5G.
I can't believe we didn't think of anything. Oh well. Oh well. What can you do?
Yeah, well, do it again, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's do some other things. Let's see. We got Little Mermaid at Highland Parks. Auditions should be submitted to the link below.
We got a link we'll put in the chat.
So we'll drop that link in the chat.
And the auditions are due by the 25th of April.
Yeah. And then you'll receive an email on May 1st, the day before someone's birthday.
I don't know who that is.
Me either.
As for the callbacks will be held Tuesday, May 11th, and Wednesday, May 12th, from 6 to 9 p.m. in room 108/109 of the Lincoln Center. Dance callbacks will be held Thursday, May 13th, from 6 to 9 p.m. in the banquet hall of the Lincoln Center. A short video will be sent in advance. We ask that you please wear a mask and any days you attend. Temperature checks and hand sanitizer will also be required. That's good. Setting boundaries.
Yeah. I mean, and that's
And it's an open call to all ages who sing and or dance.
and that's what we have to start doing.
I thought your computer was about to fall.
No, it's fallen enough, can't you tell?
Yeah.
2 times in here. So, you know, now that brings us to us. You know, a lot of folks have been, I can honestly say, personally contacting me if I knew what these guys were talking about for the summer and things like that. And the answer is
No,
no, we don't know.
but we kind of want to get a feeler out because there's a number of factors that come into play with this summer compared to other summers. Usually we have a huge cast. Anyone can come. People of all walks of life can come and be in the show. And while we want to keep, you know, that openness here at Ross, we also have to keep in mind like health precautions and things. So there will be things like who's vaccinated, who's not vaccinated, and other things like cast size and like how many people will be around, how many people need to be at each rehearsal. We can't spend all day rehearsing because people have day-to-day lives, so we can't expect everyone to keep their schedule open for a summer musical. So we're open to suggestions.
Also, you know, maybe not something that innately has to do with people like loving on each other.
Yeah.
You know, having 2 people from 2 separate households have to get all snuggly and cuddly with each other probably won't be something that'll happen. But, you know, things are open to suggestion, but just remember and keep in mind that these are just suggestions, you know, that we do take consideration into these. So while you guys think of those, please just go ahead and start typing them in those talk boxes or in that chat box. What are some things you'd like to do?
What is this open to whatever in the world I want to do,
What
or
would-
within reason?
within reason.
Within reason, like
We'll
like
talk
this year, or something I could do like
We'll-
in a couple years from now.
We'll talk about open after this. But let's try to stay on
Realistic options for like this summer.
that we could probably do this summer.
Oh well, you know, Les Mis has a small cast. No, I'm kidding.
Wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't. But you know, there's a lot of things that come to mind.
Out in the darkness,
I honestly have
fugitive
no idea.
running,
Back.
fallen from God.
Here, Will.
No, I wouldn't be opposed to Les Mis. There are a lot of things you could do, but you know sometimes when people hear certain names of shows, they've not really seen the show, or they don't give it enough chance, or they knew the original cast recording was with Joe Schmuck from Nobodyville, and Joe Schmuck can't really sing. So you know those kinds of things really make it difficult. You know.
You know, and we need to keep in mind, like, you know, people have been. These might be like the first viewing of like a live show for some people
Yeah.
in a year, and like, you know, my heart is drawn to like a Disney show and not Hunchback, although I would love to do Hunchback again, but like something a little more lighthearted, because what the problem we would run into is like we just finished a year with a lot of families have dealt with a lot of loss and a lot of hardships, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know, do something like Les Mis where everyone dies by the end. And spoiler alert.
I don't see why that's an issue though. I don't.
Realistically
personally
speaking,
see the
I feel like
issue with that.
something like Joseph could be a possibility because it's a shorter show. You could have the cast, you got a bit of brothers, but you can keep it relatively small and have people double up on parts. I see that as a possibility. Will we do that for sure? I don't know. But realistically, the first thing that comes to mind is something like Joseph or as much as I would love to do Beauty and the Beast, I just feel like that would be such an undertaking without a large cast to help us get the sets together.
Yeah, because that one, I really, really enjoyed that summer, but that summer really, really took a toll on me physically.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I know both of us, but yeah.
It was a lot. George, I know you're there. Best Frollo on the planet. Thank you. So I know George is there, and I'm pretty sure Jalen is there, even though if he's not talking.
Wait, did you get more? Did you get someone?
Yeah.
Oh, best Frollo on the planet. It's late for me.
So George or Georgie's daughter? No,
George's
George or
Her head
Jalen. If you
ended up
have any
where?
suggestions for musicals, we would love to hear them. Or you, too, UT kind. I'm not sure who you are. I'm gonna look at your account right now.
Thanks for watching though. We really appreciate
Yeah.
it. I don't know. There are some really cool things that are out there. And then so once you think of it, if you go into Leap of Faith, not enough parts.
Yeah.
Memphis is great, but not enough parts to distribute really the wealth. So when you run into the problem, when you run into the idea of trying to maybe go a smaller cast, you also run into the issue of not being able to give everyone a chance, and that's kind of what Ross was built off of. So that's where this idea of why the show hasn't been picked yet. It's because what do you do?
How do you draw a line between including as many people as you want and staying COVID safe?
Who do you draw that line at?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to offend, So these are things that have been boggled back and forth, and every time a show is mentioned, I feel like I'm the one doing it, and I'm not really doing it on purpose. I'm the but guy. But we have this.
George, Phantom of the Opera. As much as I would love to do Phantom, I don't think that's available for us.
You know what though? I
Probably a cast size we could.
I do think that I did hear your dad talk about it though.
Yeah.
We applied for it.
So
We've been applied for that musical, George. Whether we get it or not, it's up to the
that's another
theater gods and capitalism to decide.
another good show with great music.
And-
Great music.
Theoretically, you could do with a smaller cast.
Yeah, I mean, and the one of the things that I love about Ross that is that everyone sings everything, everyone learns everything, So the leads don't cheat out and not sing the chorus stuff, and that's I think that's some of that full sound that everyone is used to hearing. Forget to say it's Josh. I kind of want to do Christmas in July and do Scrooge. Here's the thing.
Scrooge will happen this year.
Scrooge
we will
will happen.
do Scrooge.
Probably not in July.
November. Well, you know what? One of the coolest things that we could probably get away with doing Scrooge in the summertime. One, no one would see it. But two, and more importantly, you could do it with the full orchestra because you'd have the
could.
chance to actually rehearse it with the full orchestra.
You could.
And I think that would be cool. But probably not. Probably not. We get our Scrooge.
We will do Scrooge, though. We will do Scrooge.
Yeah.
It is not over.
You don't get away from it. There was a Scrooge documentary out this year as well, from all the years of doing Scrooge and all of the different people that have done it, and how the cast and the set and things have been changed. We were just talking the other day about a set piece and how it originally was in one place, and the lamps, how the lamps were originally on the stage for Scrooge. So, Scrooge is a great show, but during the holiday season. And I like Christmas all year round, but
I don't. I like my seasons separate. I like enjoying all of them equally
do you like your seasonings on your food the same way?
during those specific seasons.
You got to put them all together, black pepper, a little cayenne.
Oh yeah, but you have season combinations. I don't want nutmeg in July.
You don't want nutmeg in July?
No.
Man, you ever grilled with some nutmeg?
No.
You know, my uncle is my uncle is Chef Homeboy RD. Okay. We grill with anything.
George says, "Yay, I like Scrooge." We like Scrooge too, sometimes.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. I've just done it so many times.
John said, drowsy chaperone.
Drowsy. Honestly, not a bad idea. I don't
Big-
know
well, there are
if
lots
people.
of big dance numbers in that.
That is true, but you can have a smaller. You can have a smaller group, and honestly, it's not. I don't see that outside the realm of possibility. The only thing that would really affect that is, like, you know, when people come to Ross the most is when it's like a big production, when it's
Yeah.
like Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid. That's when we get or Joseph. That's when we get our best audiences. And I just feel like if we did Drowsy Chaperone, we get theater people, of course. Theater people love to see theater of all kinds, but people are like, "What's that?"
Yeah, I mean, there's a tap number in there though.
There's a tap number, but I mean, if it's small enough cast.
But there's a tap number.
Lucas.
There's a tap number.
Lucas.
Good tap number and,
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, but also the one we were gonna do last time.
Oh.
It's still on the list.
Last
Oh,
summer we were
last
going to
summer.
do Something Rotten. There's a huge tap number in that one.
We were going to do that, and people thought we were
I had
kidding.
even started working with Cassidy and Lucas on some tap dancing, you know, techniques at the
Yeah.
high school a couple of times. You know, because there's a huge tap number. So that one is still within the realm of possibility, Something Rotten. And that's a great, like the soundtrack is really cool. So if you've never heard it, take a listen to it. There are lots of cool things, you know, about it. But then once again, now you get back into so it's not just cast size for the size of people on stage, but when these people aren't on stage, where are they? When they aren't on stage, where are they? We only have so many dressing rooms. We only have so many holding areas, you know? And to get everyone to dress safely,
Or a lip sync to Cats.
or lip sync to Cats.
I'll just, Taylor Swift and Jason Derulo got that covered. I think our Cats ventures are. I think the world's Cats ventures should be buried deep underground.
Not even that deep. Just
It scares me that, you know, one day when humanity is gone in the distant future, or at least we leave Earth, and aliens come and they find the remnants of our society and they find cats.
not just cats. That one.
That one.
That one.
And that's what they think humans look like. Because they're gonna see two things. They're gonna see the ancient hieroglyphics with cat people, then they're gonna see that movie.
And James Corden.
And they're gonna see James Gordon as a cat, and they're like,
Idris
"Oh wow,
Elba.
that's what humans look like."
They just evolved from cats to fat cats.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a cat. I don't know. Cats is a huge dance show.
It is. And
Huge dance show.
No, I will say in recent years, our dancing has really taken a step up because a lot of people have stepped up and improved the dancing a lot with like our more recent shows.
I know
I'm
for
not
me-
a dancer, but everyone else is doing great.
I'd live in the auditorium to put on a show if I had to.
Well, you might if you decide to do it.
You don't
that might be the bubble.
That might be the bubble.
you don't know what we're gonna require yet. You get
But with Missy
an hour of yard time.
Hour of yard time. And that hour you're working on sex. You are outside and you are painting bricks, or you are at Menards, or you're at the auditorium. Nowhere else.
Menards is too far. They might run. Mike said with Missy and Melinda that we'd all get fed. I'd invite Chef Homeboy RD every once in a while too. Can't make a
Twinkies.
and Twinkies. Oh no, Twinkies are our wintertime thing when it snows outside. But you know, I would like to do Shrek, but once again, huge costume show.
I would rather do Shrek in a couple of years from now with like a large cast than do Shrek now
Yeah.
with 4 people.
It's a huge costume show. I mean, you gotta paint a man green every night
And
just
put-
his face,
Possibly put him in a bodysuit, and definitely put the woman in a bodysuit.
and paint her green
Yep.
in a matter of 2 seconds.
Yep.
Can we do green face?
I think so.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think that's in the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
We can.
I'll
You can't do it, but I can. So
You know, I'm gonna.
it's a big, bright, beautiful world, and it's mine.
I'll have you know I'm 1/16th Martian. So
1/16th. You just got upgraded to 5G. You're 1/16th reptilian.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm reptilian.
Oh.
But yeah, there's tons of shows like I would love to do. I mean, one show I want to do super bad is Hades Town, but one, no one will see that, and two, that's like, you have to have a great pit to do that show, a great pit, because that.
But our pits are pretty good.
Yeah, I know, but with all like the things that could happen
Yeah.
with people getting sick,
Yeah.
it would be risky.
Yeah.
Because you can't do Hades Town with the track. It's you know, if there was an absolute emergency, you could do some of these other shows with tracks. But if Hades Town, like, you can't do that freeform jazz and some of the numbers they have, it's not that's what's special about the show.
Let me see. What was the one that I've been listening to a lot lately?
You have to do Mamma Mia. Not a terrible idea. Honestly not. That's a relatively small cast. I wouldn't. People love the music. I don't like Mamma Mia very much, but people do love the music, and it's a relatively tiny cast, and that would be fun. I would love to do Little Mermaid again. Cassidy would too.
Hello, Barnes. You like theater? I don't like theater. I love it. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't do what I do.
What do you think we should do for a summer musical, Barnes? Grease? I haven't seen. I don't know enough about it to really say. I know people love the music,
To me, I don't know. I like it, but it's just.
but it's not a question whether we like it or not. It's a question of would it be a possibility.
Oh, okay. Yeah. In that case, big dance show.
It's a pretty big cast.
Pretty
yeah.
big cast.
And you'd have to get all that style period clothing, which I guess you could supplement. Yeah, it's not that old.
We've been around since that time period, so
Grease is the word. I thought bird was the word.
the play of Grease stinks. I don't know. I've never seen it. The only one I saw was that live version a while ago, and those live versions of shows are never really good.
It's a theater staple. Yeah, it is. I mean, everyone in theater knows Greased.
Greased?
Grease.
That's a bodybuilding musical. Greased and pumped.
No, that's
Another musical
It has some crappy things. He has to turn into a slut to get it.
Yeah, and he has to. Yeah, it's like change who you are to find the love of your life, which, in increments maybe, but the whole thing's kind of weird.
You were gonna say something.
Oh, I would love to do. Will, find my thought for me. I lost it.
I don't see it.
I lost it. I lost it. It was a show like I was thinking of. I was like,
In the
oh, that wouldn't
words
be
of
a
the
bad
great Larry
idea.
Coons, I got nothing.
I got none.
I'm trying to find the one that I was looking for. That's why I can't figure out what you were saying.
Oh, Fun Home. I would love to do Fun Home, but like that would just like the whole point of that show is to not have a set. And like you
Wicked.
can't do a
It
show.
would have to be done here.
Yeah.
What, Fun Home here? Yeah.
Wicked?
Barnes says Wicked.
It's
Wicked is unfortunately not available.
and we'd like to do that if we ever did do that. We'd like to do that with a big cast.
Big cast, once again, big makeup show. You have to paint almost her whole face, hands green, big technical stuff. I believe there are people who fly in there. There are lifts and things. Not outside of the realm of possibility, but this year kind of would be a little bit more difficult because we also have to understand we did not do theater last year, and we don't get paid to do this stuff. We do it because we love to do it. Oh, okay. They're talking about.
Grease. That's actually
Grease.
a good point. I never put that into perspective before. She grew a backbone because she should beat Danny up because he's acting like a dirtbag. I never put that into perspective. That's actually a really good point. I get character development. That I never thought of that.
So when we talk about things that The Wiz, another one. When we talk about shows, we have to remember we did not do theater last year. We don't get paid to do this. So the money that is taken in literally just goes to pay the bills. And we can't really bite off a lot more than we could chew right now because we did not have the opportunity to, stack anything up. So being very cautious of things when you have big technical things. Wait, what about Aladdin? Amazing show. I would love to do Aladdin. I
don't think it's available.
It is not available.
Aladdin Jr. is.
Aladdin Jr. is. So if you
I was-
think we can pull off 12-year-olds.
I was pretty close. True story. I had gotten a call back for the genie, the standby genie for the national touring cast. So I can show you a Shaman to Tell Me Princess. Yes, I love Aladdin. I love Aladdin. I'd love to play the genie. The musical, actually, once you watch it, it's just kind of all right. But
I like the movie a lot.
It
more.
would be a fun show.
Place is definitely.
It would be fun because you got lots of things going on, lots of lights, lots of flashing. Dance heavy show. Friend Like Me is a 12-minute long, almost full on tap number, the whole number. Trust me, I know because I've danced it. So
Mrs. Doubtfire. Is that a musical?
they have a Mrs.
It is just coming out.
Oh, it's just coming out.
Mrs. Doubtfire is just coming because I'd play Mrs. Doubtfire. I would do it. I would do it.
I'll have to give that a listen. Harry Potter the music. Is there?
So we had.
Oh,
There's a
yeah, the comedy musical.
We
I
talked
really want
about
to do the Batman one.
We
have.
talked about this with our students the other day because we said that one of them said that we would have to go back and check though because that was written by a college, right?
Yeah.
So we
It
would
was
have
a college or like a small company or something.
yeah. So we would need to see the availability. I would personally, out of the ones that I've seen them do though, the Batman one was very funny.
It was
Holy
so
Batman the musical.
The way they made Superman fly, where they just have a guy in a morph suit come up and lift him up. It's hilarious.
I mean, this would not be a good one for this summer, but I'd personally like to do Ragtime.
I would love to do Ragtime too.
I do want to.
That's some of the best music in any musical ever.
You guys would make great Hufflepuffs. I can't talk.
I'll
apparently.
take it as a compliment. I don't know what those are.
Hufflepuffs.
I know they're a faction in Harry Potter.
One of the houses.
I'm not sure what they represent.
Oh, I'll tell you what they represent. I'm really mad because I can't find the one show that I was just listening to.
There's Fun Home. What else is there? Next to Normal. I kind of like that one, but that's another one that's like the problem with a lot of the contemporary shows that come out is like they're made for like not having sets,
Yeah.
and we like big sets.
Jumanji the musical. I'd have to personally give that one a listen.
I haven't heard of that one.
I
This
do
guy
like
knows
the movie.
a lot of musicals.
Yeah, Barnes, you're winning right now,
Yeah.
man.
I haven't heard of these before.
Now, you know one that would be annoying to me, but I know would probably draw a large crowd. I don't think. What'd you say? Oh.
Well, I'll look it up.
That's what I was going to do. Here, I got it already. I do believe now. I don't think that there is a full one. I don't know if it's released yet, but I know. I know there is a Jumanji the musical.
Billy Madison the musical.
Frozen. It would annoy the living heck out of me, but I know that it would attract.
There's a Billy Madison musical. What? Oh my God.
Barnes, you win.
Yeah. Yeah, Frozen would be fun to do. I like
Or in Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Oh,
too.
Anastasia. Now, I'd put my money on Anastasia.
Anastasia might be available, so that might be on our roster. Dying to see Mrs. Doubtfire. I'll have to give it a listen. I know nothing about it. Well, I know the movie, but I don't know the musical.
I know another one that would draw a big crowd from like I don't want to use the term millennials, but more contemporary people. Dear Evan Hansen, and I think that one's available.
Happy Gilmore, the musical? that would be funny.
I'd
Friends.
Friends the musical will be awesome. Who wants to be Chandler?
There's an Office play or musical or something, but they
it's a musical.
they
I think.
gender swapped a bunch of roles. It's kind of weird.
Including Michael.
Yeah.
Yes, Friends. I'm trying to see where. I want them to write a Princess and the Frog the musical.
Please do, Friends. I look like Chandler. That would be something that would be popular. I don't know anything about it.
Here we go. You know what? One that I was singing in my head the other day that has a lot of really good music, but no one would come and see it because they don't know anything about it.
What?
Secret Garden.
Oh.
The music from, if you all have never heard the musical Secret Garden, please do yourselves the biggest favor with sprinkles on top. Go and listen to that show because it is so, there's just so much really cool, intricate music in there. I'm trying to use too many big words. They're all just coming out like, ugh.
We have a 3-syllable limit. Syllable. All right, I'm still in the rules.
You get more than I do. I'm taking one from now on. I do want them to come out with a Princess and the Frog the musical, though, because I'd like to play.
I'm surprised they have not.
Me too. I'd like to play the alligator, Ray. So I can eat cheese with my eyes closed.
Congratulations. I don't know if that's a song.
That might be from. I'm not okay. Please don't block me, but I'm not a big Friends person. I've never really seen all of it. I'm not against it. I just have not seen it. So I want to think that you're making a reference to Friends, but I don't know. You know what would be another fun one? Sweeney, Sweeney.
I would love to do Sweeney Todd, but I don't think we get away with that.
Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd.
We just talked about that, George. We don't think there is a musical for that yet.
What'd you say?
That's the problem with being
On a high school.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not,
That and Rent, but I'm not exactly heartbroken about not being able to do Rent.
there is a high school version.
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
You'd make a great alligator. Thank you. Thank you. I would love to play Ray. I have.
You're talking about his method acting. He played Scuttle. Not any Scuttle. He played Soulful Scuttle.
I was the most soulful Scuttle. You can go and watch our snippets of Little Mermaid, and I gave the most soulful rendition of positivity you'll
How?
ever
We
hear.
don't know. He doesn't know either. But
You know what'd be super cool? Three Stooges the musical. Who would be the Three Stooges? For those of you that don't know, our director and technical director,
Ravi. No, he's the
Ravi,
intern today.
He's an intern.
He's acting like one.
He said I would be two of the Three Stooges.
We would be two of them.
Oh, I heard you say you would be two.
MHS. We'd want to do it at MHS. Center stage is more for small scale stuff. We're talking about MHS, the big stage.
This is for our summer musical. Good evening, friends. There's
Good
Jalen.
evening, Jalen. You need to tell us what musical you think we should do this summer.
There's Jalen. We've
Been expecting you.
been expecting you.
Gary plugged Chicago. Gary.
Yes, we did. We talked about your Gary Shakespeare company. If you have anything to say audition-wise, Jalen, please feel free to post it right there.
Jacob will be Larry. Will, you will be Mo. Mr. Reinhardt will be Curly.
I'm down. I'm not opposed. I am by no means opposed to this idea at all. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Can it just be the three? We could do that one over here. If we had more, I like the music from Newsies. Not something we probably could do, but I do like the music from Newsies.
It's just such a heavy dance show. Like,
Have
Well, it's a heavy dance show with boys,
yeah.
young boys.
all of them. Pure boys.
That's a quote from Music Man.
Before we get canceled, blocked,
Yes.
and never allowed to enter a theater again.
That is a quote from Music Man.
You have more viewers now than you have the whole life.
Good.
Then we're gonna keep going, I say.
40 playbacks and 10
If you do Three Stooges the musical, you have to give me credit for doing the idea. We will.
I feel like that's only fair. That's only fair. See what other, I really, really, really love the music from, what did we do not too long ago? From Hunchback.
Hunchback. I like Hunchback as well.
I mean, not to do it like this summer, but I really enjoy it. I just left from evening church service, and I kind of would love to see the SpongeBob musical, Something Rotten, or maybe Memphis again.
I know SpongeBob's on the radar.
I know for sure Something Rotten is because we were going to do it last year.
Problem with Memphis is not enough parts.
The music is really good.
Music is really good.
The music is really, really, really good. I have listened to the SpongeBob the musical.
I'm not a fan. I tried watching it. I watched the last half of it. I didn't like it too much, but I can see why people would like it. If it's a crowd pleaser, I can't see why not.
I don't know. I'm an original SpongeBobber, though. I remember all those original things. SpongeBob is the best.
I like the TV show. Gold the blooms. Don't drop them.
He ripped his pants. There's so much good stuff.
Here's an idea. iCarly the musical. How awesome would that be? Will, you can be Spencer. Jacob, you can be Freddy. How does that sound?
Why do I have to be Spencer?
Spencer's the best. He carried that show on his back.
Spencer was weird.
That's the whole point.
Can I be?
One of the best scenes in Nickelodeon television. It's like I didn't even laugh at it until I got older. It's like Spencer walks in with an emu, like one of the birds, and he has a smoothie. They say, "What you got there?" He's like, "A smoothie."
I still vote Three Stooges the musical. I mean, I don't. When you're thinking about things.
The problem
Sometimes-
with some musicals is like there's so much weight because it's not just a service to us.
What about Hairspray? Hairspray, we run into a cultural issue.
Yeah.
Not as in a cultural issue that we're afraid to address.
We've done Ragtime. We're not afraid, and Memphis. We're not afraid to address.
It could because you need a number of good dancers on both sides.
And white people can't dance.
That's not.
You don't have enough white people, you do it.
That's not what I was saying.
What we're saying
What
is we don't
I'm
have enough
saying
white
is we
people.
typically don't have enough white people to fill out the chorus.
With Ragtime, we didn't have enough black people.
Yeah, well, the time that Ragtime happened, it's like we didn't have enough black actors.
Well, and you guys had to double. Some of your Jewish cast were the white cast as well, right?
Yeah.
You just doubled down, but
No one really wants to do a show of, like, people want to see it, but, like, doing it, it's like, ugh.
I mean, and those shows, like I said, I'd love to do it. That's a really good question. How much do musicals cost to buy the rights to? I will shoot this over to our intern in the booth because he should have been studying this for his finals.
Barnes also changed that. You're Freddie, I'm Spencer now.
Just
agree.
hearing him say that smoothie line, it was made for him. Well, you're Freddie now. Theodore wants to know, how much do musicals cost to buy the rights to?
That's a really good question.
That is a great question, actually.
It depends on the show. It's the reason we don't do musicals here in a 50 seat because it's $800 no matter what for the music.
So I think just to make sure that you guys can actually hear him.
It's $800 just for the music.
Yeah. And so that's why we typically, for those of you familiar with our smaller studio space, we don't typically do musicals here because of the overhead. You're paying $800 just for the music.
But wait, there's more.
Yes, there is more. Then there is the royalties, which is nightly what you pay.
So then there's royalties nightly, which is what you pay per performance. you know.
So, at the auditorium, they will range anywhere from $3,500 to $6,000 for all the rights.
So for our summer productions, we usually
Right. This is just rights.
This is just rights.
Yeah, this is rights and all of that stuff. Music. This has nothing to do with costumes. What we buy for set pieces. It's anywhere from
concessions. It's anywhere between. This is just the rights. The rights alone for a community theater production of 6 shows at the end of a month. Between $2,500 and $6,000. I could get a bass for that. A good bass.
I still can't get my keyboard I want.
I know, but yeah, it's expensive. Jalen says, as for the Gary Shakespeare Company, they just finished. We actually talked about them earlier, Jalen.
So they're doing a live. They're planning a live in-person show this year at different outside locations. So just like they had done in years past, live shows at outside locations, like I mentioned earlier. Thank you so much, Jalen. Jalen Halliburton is with the Gary Shakespeare Company. I don't know. Are you in the show this year, Jalen? Or are you just working on the production side? He's done everything from being in the show to, I do believe he's assistant directed and things of that nature. And he is also a member of the Ross and Eminem family. George, we kind of already talked about Cats the Musical.
Costuming nightmare,
Yeah.
and overall, we just don't enjoy it too much.
Cake Boss the Musical. Will, you will be the lead role. Buddy. Jacob, you will be his right man, Ryan.
Mario.
That would be amazing. Everyone would come and see it. Now, this is a true story. One of my really good friends from high school actually studied as an apprentice under Buddy. And he lives in this area and he makes cakes, and his cakes are amazing. They look great. They taste even better. Yes, she is. Oh, it's Steph. Okay. If you do Cats, will you edit out?
No. In fact, we're putting 12 times the detail.
What?
Jalen did not audition this year.
I was not prepared for that question. You went from asking a really, really good, well thought out question
This
to
is
asking
an even better thought out question.
if
We're all about precision here at Ross, and we'd add 12 times the detail.
I think I'd stage manage that show.
You do the painting
I'll do the painting. I'll do
of the
painting.
hiney holes.
Sure. I will paint the hiney holes. I am the hiney hole painter.
Oh my god. Please, someone take all these quotes out of context.
I didn't say it.
Huh? You just did.
I didn't say it. I don't think that I was there when I said it.
All right, I'm sure any show you do, you'll do awesome. We sure hope so. But the like I was saying earlier, like the problem with these summer shows, it's not just about what we want to do and what other people want to do, as silly as that sounds. It's also about what the community wants to see. Because what's the point of putting on a show if people don't want to see it? And it's about bringing people in and bringing people together. And you know, my grandfather had a saying where we don't aim to make people glad they saw a show. We want just for at least a couple hours that people be glad they're alive. They're experiencing something live. There's a lot of things that happen during a musical. There's actors, there's musicians, there's dancers. They're all working together for a consecutive hour or two.
And it's not even just working together. Everyone for that time has to be thinking the same. They're thinking the same steps. They're, you know, Georgia Nichols, may she rest in peace, used to always give this prayer at the beginning, and it was more of kind of a speech, but it was this prayer that she gave that, you know, that the dancers were the feet and the singers were the voice, and the stage crew was the heart, and you know, all of these things really came together. All of these things really come together. And so we want to make sure that we're doing something that the community wants to see, that the folks around here want to see. We want to make sure that we're supporting each other. And so we're putting on something that really is going to benefit, to the best of our ability, the community and enrich the community in which we live in. Not just Maryville, not just Hobart, but the entire community in which we live in, because we do have folks that come from all around to see theater from all around here. And I'm not just talking Ross. I mean, you know, all the way to LaPorte Little Theater, to Chicago Street in Valpo, to all of these theaters around here. You know, we have to enact this like family nature, because we understand the process. And then we,
You know, with movie theaters and the shaky place they're at, you know, it could come down to us entertain the communities if people want to see something live. So if live entertainment dies, you know, theater is either the last stand, or it's gonna go along with them. And I don't think it will, because there will always be a desire for live performance. Because people want to be there. People want to feel that experience and share it with other people in person.
there. Yes, I see that. Jalen asks if I have a question. If you guys don't earn more than what you spent on a production at Ross, what do you do to earn back the rest of the money?
Should I tell them the truth? My parents pay for it. Ever since I was younger, a lot of people think we make big bucks off this. We don't. When a show makes more than expected, it goes towards the next summer show. That's why we usually do a show we want to do after a show that has high earning potential, so we can.
And the profits go to the choir.
The profits go to the choir. We try to recoup losses from one show to another. That's why we do a high earnings potential followed by something that's maybe a little more artsy that we want to do. But you know, from a young age, you know, we're fine financially. That's not what I'm saying at all. You know, Ross is we've taken vacations outside of Indiana, but Ross is the music theater. That's our summer vacation. That's what we spend, you know, our vacation money on. So there's a misconception out there from a lot of people, and I'm not saying this to throw shade. I'm just saying this. I'm going on 24 years old now, and I've heard this my entire life, that my family uses people to earn money off their backs and then make money off of the shows and stuff. We make nothing. This is a community thing. This is for the community. We have nothing in mind other than the community and high school's choir. Those are the only two things that the money from the shows touch. It's an opportunity for people of all walks of life to come in and just forget about things for summer. And like, you know, we notice it's like, you know, people we usually hang out with all the time, there's all this high tension and people fighting on Facebook. When there's a summer show, you put that in the back seat and you work together as human beings. And that is at the end of the day. It's a community effort, and the money we make goes to nothing but shows. That's the truth. And when we don't, unfortunately, break even, we end up having to pay that back out of our own pockets. And we're happy to do so. Three's Company, the musical. Will, you will be Jack. Jacob will be his BFF. Larry, Mr. Reinhardt, will be the landlord. Mr. Roper and Mrs. Reinhardt will be Mrs. Roper. And then Theodore Cleaver before that. I'm sorry, I didn't see I have the ring light in my eye. The problem I notice when one theater offers something, the other theaters steal ideas, you know, and 5 theaters are doing none shows or Annie. Yeah. But like I said, it's hard to pick a show people will want to see. So, you know, there's some big names out there that everyone knows and everyone wants to see. I mean, not last summer, but the summer before, we did Little Mermaid, and another place did Little Mermaid too, and they weren't necessarily stealing, but it's like Little Mermaid's popular. And as much as we would like to do art house shows and do like complex and difficult music, the problem is the market for that.
When you say these sound, your wife's watching. These sound like, you know, great ideas when we think, okay, let's do this show. This is a show no one's ever heard of. This is a show, and I will give you the best example of that. A lot of the Halloween shows that are done here are works by Mike Reinhardt. They're fabulous shows, fabulous. You know, some of them are written more for a goofy style. Some of them are written, here, we need a Halloween show, let's write something. You know, but at the end of the day, these are things that no one's ever heard of. These are original works. And I understand from being in college that you got to watch sometimes those original works, but people don't go and really support and see original things. They want to go where they're comfortable. I know what Little Mermaid is. I know what...
I can bring my nieces and nephews. I can bring my kids.
I know what Neil Simon is. I know what August Wilson is. I know what these shows are, but we have to think at some point in time, no one knew who these playwrights were. No one knew the name of these shows. So that's why we do things to where people know them. Now, you look at the popularity of how well it's being received in an area in which it premiered first or the area around you. You don't necessarily want to steal the same idea, but, like he said, wherever the overhead doesn't fall, the family takes care of it. So if we know that it's already done popular and done well somewhere last summer, okay, this summer, maybe we should give it a shot. We're still going to throw our own spin into it. We're still going to do our own different thing with it, but still.
We try to steer clear of that. Like if we find out, I know Into the Woods was in the talks here at Ross a while ago, but now that we know that Genesis Guild is doing Into the Woods, it's the likelihood of that is dwindling.
Jalen said, if I see another company is doing what you're doing, I say if another company is doing what you're doing, take it as a compliment. You're setting a trend. Not always. I mean,
Well, I definitely see that point. It just, sometimes it hurts us more than it helps us.
yeah, because you'll have...
Comes before it does.
When it comes before it does.
And I'm not down talking any theaters in this area. I'm talking other places that I've seen it happen, not in this state. But when you watch one company do something, and you go to another company and you watch it done. This even happens professionally. You go and see, let's just say, Hamilton in Chicago. And then you go see Hamilton in South Bend. You're like, wait, I saw Hamilton in Chicago. I didn't see it in South Bend. If you really like the version in Chicago, the only thing you're going to be thinking about is how South Bend is not competing with it. You're going to look at that Aaron Burr and go, I'm not really feeling him. I wish I had the other guy. Or this or that. Same thing can happen the other way, though. You can see the one in Chicago and think it was cool, and then you go see the one in South Bend and go, man, that Eliza was so much better. So
You don't want to make theater a competition either.
yeah,
And that's kind of what it comes down to is, and it even more surface level than that, an average theater goer. I went and I've seen hundreds of movies in theater one time and I enjoyed them, but I've never watched them since because I've had no desire to. If we do Hunchback a summer after someone else does Hunchback and they already seen Hunchback, it's I already saw it. I don't want to see it again. And that's nothing wrong with that. That's how people want to view.
Even if they really liked it and they think that they would really like this version. But to the same token, sometimes you'll have people that go everywhere just to see this one show because they love this one show. It was the show that their mother, their father loved. It was this, it was that. And so they want to continue to go and see the show. But, you're playing with a mixed field there because you don't want to do it for those people that might come because they just saw it 2 towns over. Now if it's the next, because we live so close to the state line, if it's over the state line and we just really didn't know about it because we didn't do the research or they got it in while we were doing something else and we weren't thinking about researching it, that's one thing. But if it's something that we can kind of help, it's almost like we want to expose people to new things. We want to be in that age. So we want people to come and see. We know that the style and the professionalism at Ross or at Genesius Guild or at here or at there. We know this place has a certain professionalism. This place has a certain etiquette that they follow. Let's go and support them, even if they're doing something that we don't necessarily see. So I would implore that everyone go see new things. For every show that you see that try to go and see something that you don't. For every movie that you watch that the actor, go and try to watch a movie with someone that you don't know because this is the only way you're going to get exposed to new things. You only know you like a food when you actually try it.
I bet you can't find one musical that you won't tap your toe to one song. Even in some of the worst musicals that I've seen. I saw an online version of Spider-Man. It's horrible, but there are songs in it I like.
Yeah.
You'll get something out of it. Barnes says, what about Grey's Anatomy, the musical? Jacob, you'll play part of George O'Malley. I've never actually seen Grey's Anatomy. You'll actually have to ask my mom because she watches that all the time. Will, you'll play the part of Derek Shepard. Mr. Reinhardt will be Chief. Mrs. Reinhardt will be Dr. Bailey.
Is there a Criminal Minds the musical?
Oh, my God. Yes, Sweeney Todd.
Gotta mention what we're doing at the end of the month.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got, peak viewership. We're actually doing a show end of May. We're going to be doing a variety show.
Yeah. So doing some of those Carol Burnett comedy sketches that everyone loves, and then some songs interspersed through there.
Mm-hmm.
The last time that we really, really did it, I do believe we sold this place out.
Yeah.
I mean, like having to add chairs and stuff. Obviously, we're still going to be respecting, certain things. So we will have it in place to where no matter what, we will do this show. Whether there are butts in the seats here or there are butts in the seats at home. We will be doing, at the end of May, Carol Burnett comedy sketches and a variety show. So just like they used to do in that time. I mean, reading...
Also the auditions for the summer show.
And then the auditions for the summer show, I'm being informed by Ravi in the booth. Should I do this every time he starts talking?
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing
By
this.
the intern.
He's from the NY school, NYU school. That's going to be the auditions for the summer show. Like we said, we don't know what we're doing yet, so please,
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But, just know that everything we're doing is being carefully thought out. And it's being thought out by like 5 or 6 people at the same time to make sure that things are going to work out to the best of our ability.
Where we can have the best concession stand.
Yeah.
and
concession stand, too. We
I
gotta
will.
have a
I will
great
toot our
concession
own
stand.
horn. I will toot our horn. That
Toot away,
this is
good fellow.
toot away.
No, God, no.
You said toot away. Oh, that's toot
The
to
horn.
you. I'll toot away.
horn.
You get it? Toot away. I toot it to you.
Yeah.
We do have probably the best concession stand. Missy Gonzalez does a fantastic job of not only theming out the concession stand visually, but it's not just hot dogs and popcorn. No, she, if you're doing a show that takes place at this time, she's going to find food from that time and find a way to concessionize it. So it's not, just the mundane stuff. Our friend Cassidy's dad will show up 6 performances. He'll come to 2 of those. And the other 4 times, he will come beforehand just to get concession stand food, eat, and leave. I have passed him in the doorway coming in and he's leaving. Hey, Mr. Kuntz. And he's like, hey. I said, you just coming from concession stand? Yep. And he's leaving. He's going home. So, and her food is really good, and she's pre-packaging it. So she's cooking it, in a very safe environment, and then making it so it's, to the best of our ability, low contact. So then that's the way we're keeping everyone safe. We're being very, very sanitary in how things are being handled. So, whatever our show is, I can guarantee you the concession stand will be amazing. And it'll be nice, really, to get back into that. So we had a lot of information, all of the stuff that we talked about, audition and callbacks and show information-wise. Those links were posted into the chat.
Scroll.
Chicago Theater has a big point on
Chicago Street Theater, too, we forgot to mention as well.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
Heather's
Is that
coming
not
up.
on here?
It's not on there.
It's not. I'm sorry. They have Heather's. Actually, I think they have an audition for just one character. They need to cast one character. Unfortunately, they were ready to go last year when things kind of went on a halt, and so all of their cast members can return with the exception of one. So if you go to their Facebook page and their website, it's Chicago Street Theater. You can go and look up that information if you're interested in auditioning for that. Please always be looking up auditions and stuff.
running through the 25th too.
Their show is running through the 25th of.
The Giant Peach.
Oh, and then
Giant Peach.
James and the Giant Peach. Yes, James and the Giant Peach will be running through the 25th. And if you've never been to Chicago Street, it's really, really, really cool. It's a very
They
cool.
remodeled their lobby.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, during the pandemic, they did some refurbishing. Like
Oh, cool. So yeah.
What you just missed is that Chicago
Well,
Street
what did
Theater.
I miss?
Chicago
What did
Street
I
Theater.
miss?
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Chicago Street Theater remodeled their lobby during the pandemic.
I would love to tell you that this is just how we're acting for this stream, but this is how we acted.
One of my favorite bits of all time when we were doing Music Man, whenever the entire cast would go into dancing, there's a guy named Patrick who I always smile. He's like, "Why am I dancing? Why am I singing? Help me!"
I miss Patrick. Oh. Well, like we said, we're going to be doing this probably about twice a month. Please do not forget, for us here on the home front, our next thing will be, remember, we'll all three of us, Jake, myself, and Ravi in the booth, will be assisting with Maryville High School's production of Smokey Joe's Cafe, which opens this Friday. So once again,
Used a cool neon sign, didn't we, Will?
we did. We built a neon sign. So
I supervised.
every good project needs a project manager.
Exactly.
It wasn't you, but we all need one. That's Friday and Saturday.
Careful, Barnsick,
7:30.
I should play Dexter.
And Will, wait a minute. Will play the part. Jake, you play the part. Will, you will be James. Does James die?
He will in our version. I want to audition for Heather's.
I can be called Heath. You can audition for whatever you want. Those Friday, Saturday, 7:30. Next Saturday, 7:30, and Sunday at 3 p.m. Tickets are available at the box office, or if you go through the M&M Productions page, the Ross Music page, or the MHS Spring Musical page on Facebook. You can find all of that information on how you can get pre-sale tickets and stuff like that. We are still respecting the social distancing guidelines set forth by the CDC, so seats will be marked off so that everyone can enjoy this theatrical experience safely.
And you know, by the time show is able to go on, who knows what the world's going to be like. You know, the vaccine's getting pumped out fast. I think in places like Connecticut, half the population's already vaccinated.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, by the time things roll around, we might be close to like pseudo-normal.
Yeah.
You know, knock on all the wood in the world. But
And I do want to give a quick congratulations and bravo to, I know Crown Point High School just closed High School Musical today. So they...
was it High School Musical or was it their high school's musical?
No, it was High School Music.
High School Musical, the High School Musical.
Yeah. Their High School Musical was High School Musical.
All right, yeah.
So congratulations to those young performers over at Crown Point. Let's see. I'm checking all my notes. I think we got everything in there.
Forgot to say that.
That and
No, that.
oh the.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much for hanging out with us and joining us this evening. Once again, my name was William Akins.
It's not anymore. It was.
It was. It's not anymore.
Crown Point High School closed. Why? It didn't close.
No.
Play did.
The play did.
No, their show closed, meaning the show was over. Closed is a theatrical term. No, the school did not close. The musical closed. So yeah, my name is not Will Akins anymore.
It's are you Gil or
I'm Gil Faison Charm
is
Dutch
Gil Faison?
because you're George St.
St.
Geegland
Geegland.
in my phone, and that's Ravi in the booth. Ravi, can you go get me a Lindor truffle? The blue flavor, the blue kind is my favorite flavor.
Ravi, can you go get me a big bowl of Ebola?
All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will be back to you extremely soon.
Whether you like it or not.